I'm checking out a 2018 Kia Stinger. The interior is very nice. You know, pretty standard steering wheel, cup holders, drive modes, console. Leather here is very nice. Seats are extremely comfortable. Probably the biggest drawback on this car is the rear visibility. It's got some big pillars back there. With it being a hatch, it doesn't allow for a lot of rear visibility. You got to rely a lot on your mirrors when you're driving. Interior overall though seems to be made of really good quality. Here's the rear vents, power cords, that nice screen, and in the rear seats it's really basically designed more for two people. Although it has the same width as the Charger, you can see the rear seat is set deep, designed more for two rear passengers. And you can see here, this is pretty thick and wide, whereas like the Charger, you have all the way out to around here for rear passenger space. So you lose probably about 6 to 8 inches of width because of that. One thing too is when it comes to feet, you guys know I'm pretty tall, but here's the rear space. My toes don't even really fit under the rear seat like they would in a Charger or Challenger, so you really do lose a lot of comfort. My knees here, I mean, the driver's seat is set up for me, but the rear seat is, you know, pretty snug. I mean, I think you could do it with 3 small kids, but at the same time, you do lose the comfort. And I'm gonna go back into my Charger and we can talk about the drive. All right, so let's get to the driving impressions of the 2018-2019 Kia Stinger GT. So first I'll start off by saying I did drive the all-wheel drive version. The rear-wheel drive version was not available on the lot at the dealer I went to. All right, so once I got in the car was very comfortable. You know, I adjusted my seats. The seats are very, very bolstered, very comfortable, very supportive. The leather was very comfortable. The quality was good. The build quality and internal looks of the interior were very nice. So when it came to drive, it's been a while since I've driven a turbo, let alone a twin turbo. So that did take some adjustment. So I drive around the city streets, and honestly, it kind of felt more like a 4-cylinder drive, just because the turbos were not engaged. You did have to give it some throttle to engage those turbos. But the one thing I did notice is, based on throttle response, you can kind of predict when the turbos were going to kick in, and when, or it was just pretty easy to know when they were going to kick in. So if you just wanted to putz around, you didn't have to worry about those turbos kicking in too early and sending you into the back of another car. And I had the opportunity to take it on the highway. Basically did 20 to highway speed start, and man, it felt really good, nice and powerful. Naturally, you don't have the roar of the V8. You do have the sound of the V6, which was, it was pretty nice. Not overpowering. It was a little bit more refined and kind of sophisticated in a sense, because it wasn't overpowering. I was having a conversation with the sales guy that I had test driven with. So, you know, in that regards, it was, you know, it was nice and comfortable. But the acceleration, without a doubt, pinned me back in the seat more than my current Dodge Charger. My Charger, you know, 0 to 60 is typically somewhere between 4.9 and 5.1 seconds on average. And, you know, with the all-wheel drive version, you're going to get a pretty consistent 4.6, 4.7. So that 0.4 of a second is definitely going to make a huge difference. And especially with the consistency, you know, you definitely, from a performance standpoint, it's there. It's nice. It feels great. And the one thing, just from a driving manner standpoint, that I really, really liked is the suspension was taut enough, it was sporty enough, but at the same time, it was a very comfortable ride. It had good road manners. It took potholes and imperfections in the road extremely nice. You know, you guys know with our Chargers and Challengers, you know, especially on the higher trims, you tend to have a rougher feel, and you know, you feel the bumps a little bit more. You know, naturally you want to feel the bumps, but at the same time, the Chargers and Challengers can be a little bit more harsh. And maybe it was because it was new compared to my 3-year-old Charger. I mean, that could be the case too. But overall, I absolutely loved the drive of it. But when it came down to the negatives from a driving standpoint, there might be a deal breaker with the rear visibility. With the Stinger GT, or just Stingers in general, with it being a hatchback, you lose any and all visibility out of the back. It feels like you have a 6-inch sliver in height when you're looking out the back. And with how thick the rear pillars are, it just reduces the side visibility significantly too. So I had to rely on my mirrors all like 100%. You know, even with the Challenger, there's criticism about rear visibility, but after driving, you know, the Challenger I did, I mean, the rear visibility out of the Challenger is fine, to be honest. I mean, yeah, you had the thicker pillars too, but with the Challenger, with it being a 2-door, you get a couple extra, like 6 or 8 inches of visibility out of the side because you don't have the pillars, because it's not a 4-door. So overall, I really liked the Kia Stinger GT. Even in its all-wheel drive form, it had great driving dynamics, it had awesome acceleration, it had awesome road manners, and the interior was really, really nice. I mean, it was great quality, and I enjoyed everything about it. Unfortunately, I don't think it is the car for me. One of the reasons is because of the rear visibility. One thing I didn't touch about before was the rear capacity in the hatch. It is far smaller from a true usability than the Charger. I wouldn't be able to go to multiple grocery stores or multiple stores to shop. I'd probably only be able to do one instead of both. And really, the rear seat as well is kind of a bummer. The biggest thing is, you know, the width or the usability of the rear cushion, because it's designed more for 2 people, and also the foot-room, you know, is a big downer too, because your feet can't fit under the seat in front of you, so you're kind of cramped quite a bit. So as I touched on before, I think this vehicle is more designed and suited for, you know, like a family of 4, or, you know, just someone who wants a really sporty sedan that you can put people in every once in a while. So for my makeup, for what I need it for, it's probably not going to be my best choice. I could probably make it work, but of what I know of the Challenger, I honestly think the Challenger is a more practical vehicle, and that believe it or not, the rear seat's a little bit more usable. I know I can fit 3 people back there. It's a little bit more comfy on the feet, and the trunk space in the Challenger is significantly bigger and usable than the Kia Stinger GT. So I hope you guys liked the video. It's a great car, but it's just not for me, and that's okay. So hope you guys got something from the video, and like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll catch you guys here soon. Thanks.